Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to wait on God. When I thought about doing this video, a lot of things went through my mind. I thought about most people who tell you about how to wait on God, they usually tell you after they have been through the storm, when they are on the other side. But no one really talks about it when they are going through the storm. So I thought to talk to someone who is going through the storm because I'm also going through it. Waiting on God is very hard. In most cases, people will tell you, trust in God, trust on His time, things will work out when they're supposed to work out. God's time is the best. But it's very hard to trust, or rather, to wait. The word is not trust. Trusting, that is easy, but it's very hard to wait when you are in the middle of the storm, because all you keep thinking is, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? Is there something wrong with me? Is it because I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that? Is there something I just don't seem to get right? It's very, very hard to tell someone, oh, trust God's timing. God's time is the best. Hold on and wait on God's time. And yes, it's easier said than done, but it's possible. There's one of the services, I usually attend Sunday services, and there's one particular Sunday a couple of months ago, and the sermon was the God of Again. And one thing that stood out to me was something the preacher said is, anything that is truly for you, God will not let it get away. And that really gave me an encouragement, because sometimes when you're waiting, you keep thinking about, will it ever happen? Maybe it will never happen. You lose hope, and it's possible to lose hope. And it's very, very hard to wait. But knowing that what is meant for you is for you, and God cannot let that get away from you. It gives you the ability to wait. It's not easy, but it gives you the ability to wait. And especially, we live in a society where everyone is doing something, or not everyone, but most people are doing things that aren't godly, like to achieve their dreams or to make it. Either someone is doing something with their body, or they're doing something that is not godly. And when you're a believer, you're a Christian, and you believe in waiting on the right time, and you have chosen to wait on God, and you are surrounded by people, not necessarily in your personal life, just the society in general, people who are not probably believers, people who are not waiting on God. It's very hard to do that when everyone else doesn't seem to do that, when everyone around you seems to do something different. And even though you work hard, even though you try very hard to do everything you can, you wake up early in the morning, you choose your dress, maybe you have a job, you go to work every day, but you just don't seem to achieve the things you want to achieve. It just never seems to fall into place. That is very discouraging. But the truth of the matter is, God is with you through it all. Even when it seems like God is not there, He is there. Even when it feels like He's not there. Even when you feel like maybe your prayers are not being answered. Like, I keep praying, things are not working out. What's going on? Am I not praying hard enough? Am I not praying the right way? Even when it feels like He's just not there, like maybe He just doesn't listen to you, He's listening to you. I have a testimony that I want to give. At the beginning of this year, I made a prayer list of the things that I wanted. I made a list of the things that I wanted from God. And I'm going to read out all of them, or rather, I'm not going to read out what I wrote because a little bit personal. But I wrote the list. There were like 9 things that I wanted, and I forgot about the lists. And I just wrote it on my church notebook, and I forgot about them. Surprisingly enough, like probably like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I went back to it. I was like reading through my church notebook and just reading about everything everything that I have learned over the year, like since the beginning of the year. And I went back to my prayer list, and surprisingly enough, God has answered at least 7 of those things on my prayer list. I had like 9 things that I wanted, and else only 2 things are yet to be answered. That is God's testimony. And during the whole, I know the year is not over, but since the beginning of the year, I just kept feeling like God was not on my side. I kept feeling like I was just not winning. And I just forgot that God was there all along. I kept focusing on what I didn't have as opposed to what I have. And a lot of us, we do that. You do that. You hold on to the things that you don't have, the things that you keep wishing for, but you forget the things that you have, the things that God has blessed you with. And I realized that it has been hard, yes, but God has been there the entire time. Even when I thought he wasn't there, he was there, because he has been answering the things I asked him for one by one, one by one. I didn't stop to pay attention. I didn't stop to go back to the prayer list and check what has God done for me so far. Because I just kept going and going, chasing after the things that I want, going after my dreams, going after my goals. And the things he has been giving me, I haven't been noticing because I am so hungry for my dreams. I am pushing myself so hard that I didn't stop to wait. He has given me almost all the things that I've asked him for. I just didn't stop to go back and appreciate those things. And I felt like he wasn't there, but he was there the entire time. He was with me during the tears, when it's going to happen, the self-doubt, because sometimes you feel like maybe you're not doing enough, maybe you're not working as hard, maybe there's something you're not doing right, maybe you should do this, you should do that, maybe it's just the maybes, they just keep coming and coming. And during the maybes, you don't stop to look at what you have. And I feel like a lot of us, we do that. Maybe I'm the only one who does that, but I feel like maybe most of us, we do that. You ask God for something, and because this is how God works, God will not answer your prayer the way you asked him to for. He gives you a scripture, and when you implement that scripture, you get what you want. That's how God works. And sometimes it slips through your fingers and you don't realize that he actually did give you what you asked for, because you are so focused, your eyes are so sharp on just moving forward that you don't stop to pause. Yes, I'm here to get 1, 2, 3, but I have A, B, C, D. And that is something I'm working on changing, and knowing that God is there even when I feel like he's not there. And reminding myself that what is for me is for me. What God has intended for me, he cannot let it get away from me. That helps me to wait on his time, to hold on, to continue believing, to continue trusting, and to continue waiting for the day he is going to give me everything that I've ever asked for. And he has already given me some of the things that I've asked him for. And I just didn't actually realize in the moment, because when it happened, I was so overwhelmed and so busy and so all over the place with other things that I didn't stop to wait. I know I'm not there yet, but I'm not where I used to be. Another testimony, when the year began, I had this job. I was working as as a research assistant, and the job wasn't bad, but it was, the people I was working for. I was overworked, unappreciated, and very, very much underpaid. And it was draining the life out of me. And I also couldn't quit, because then what? Then if I love my job, and then where am I going to go? Because I don't have another like a plan B. And also it's post COVID, things are very hard. Getting a job is very, very hard. Now here I was in a job. I was like 4 years in the job. It was 3 years and a couple of months. It was not yet 4 years. And I was just in a very bad place mentally. I was so depressed that I didn't even care much about myself. I almost like stopped taking care of myself. I was operating like a robot. Wake up, do the job, eat, sleep. That's it. I just wasn't functioning like a human being. And I was in such a bad place. I had no purpose for living anymore. And so in the beginning of the year, I asked God that I need to leave that job, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I knew the things I wanted to do, but I didn't have the means, because you need a couple of things that I want to do. And also, you need some things for the things I wanted to accomplish. I didn't have the things that I wanted to do to leave my job and start my own career as a freelancer. And I didn't know what I was going to do about the things that I wanted. And it became so hard. And I asked God to make a way for me to quit that job, because it was so draining in so many ways. But I didn't have a way out. I was stuck. But I asked God to make a way, just like you made a way for the Israelites in the middle of the sea. You made a way, and they were able to get away from Pharaoh. And I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I trusted God that He was going to make a way. Surprise, surprise. Like around 3 or 4 months later, the job just stopped. Like the contract we had, like it's just stopped. The client who had given us the project, he just shut everything down. No notice. There was no communication of how or when we were going to resume. It's just shut down. Just like today we work, tomorrow we woke up, we weren't working. That's just how it happened. Like it was and of course in the moment I was like, now what? And then it was like around 2 days later is when God reminded me that I had been asking Him to get me out of that job, to make a way where there was no way. And I'm telling you, I left that job in a very miraculous way. I didn't have to quit. I didn't have to negotiate with myself, like, what if I quit and don't have a way out? How am I going to pay my bills? He made me live in His own ways. God will make you live something that is not for you in His own ways. He made a way in His own ways. He almost like forced me out. God will force you out on a situation that is not for you, that is not good for you. He made me live on His own way at His own time. And at the time, in the heat of the moment, when that particular day when it happened, I was a little bit confused. And then like just 2 days later, it was like a light bulb. I was like, this is it. This is just it. I've been wanting to leave. I didn't know how. I was scared. I was afraid, because, hey, quitting a job in the middle of when you don't have anything else to like fall on back to, then what am I going to do? I have to pay my bills. Somehow I have to eat. And I was terrified. But from there, I got my first client as a freelancer. And yes, it has been rough and it's still rough, but somehow, I am here today. I have been building my freelance career ever since then. And it's hard, but it's not as hard as working for someone who does not appreciate you. Because when the hustle is your career, just you're like self-employed, it's for you. If you're having sleepless nights because maybe you have a client, it's very, very different from having sleepless nights because the person you work for does not appreciate you or they treat you badly. It's a different kind of not having sleep. And that is the moment I realized God has been there the entire time. Even when I felt like he wasn't, even when I thought he wasn't, even when I was convinced he wasn't hearing me, he was. He was listening, he was there, and he was working behind behind the scenes the entire time. I just didn't stop to realize that he was. I didn't stop to recognize that God is working even when I think he's not working. He does listen. He is working. Even when I think he's not working, he's working. I just want to encourage you to know that even when you feel like this is the end of the road for you, it's not the end of the road. Even when it feels like it's just not going to work out for you, it is going to work out at his own time. And he's working the entire time. You just maybe haven't stopped to recognize it, or it hasn't actualized. You haven't seen the fruits yet, but the seed has been sowed and it's growing. You just have to wait until you see the fruit, because sometimes you think it's not nothing is going on, but God has sowed the seed already. It's in the process of growing, of germinating. But when you're waiting for that period, it matters a lot what you're going to do, because you have to, even when you feel like you don't have the strength to trust him, you have to force yourself to trust God. Anyway, that's all I had for today. I'm going to end this video at this point. I will continue talking more about faith and about holding on to God and trusting God and sharing my journey and encouraging someone out there who is worried that their dreams will never come true or they'll never achieve the things they want to achieve. Thank you so much for being here on my channel. Please remember to subscribe, to share, to like, to comment, and engage me. What do you think? Comment down below and tell me what has been your journey. What are you going through currently right now? What have you already gone through and you're on the other side? You have overcome the battle. What is your journey? What is your story? Comment down below. Encourage somebody else, because we all need to hear somebody's story and know that either we are not alone or we will also get there. So share this channel with your friends, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a new episode, every time there's a new video, you can be the first one to watch it. You can be notified and join the family. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.